How do Man United actually get a player in like Warren ZAIRE-EMERY from PSG? From an absolute world-beating side like PSG? Like, honestly, Luis Enrique, how does that happen? Can it happen? Well, it can happen if Man United make sales and if they're willing to actually go toe-to-toe with PSG again. This is Forever United TV. I'm Adam. Welcome along to your midday update on everything going on around Manchester United. Warren ZAIRE-EMERY. How do we make that happen? Who is this kid? Why are Manchester United looking at him? Update from Rudy Galletti on him. Jadon Sancho's situation and where we're at with that one. It's edging ever closer as one Italian club drops out and another moves forward with an agreement almost in place. With a full price, asking price agreed. Yes, agreed. More on that in a moment. Rashford to Newcastle, a little update on that as well in this lunchtime show. Hello everybody, this is your update on everything going on. Quick fire show just to bring you completely up to date with everything. We covered everything in the morning show as you know, but Manchester United obviously are going to be very, very busy now going into the month of July. We've spoken about this in detail before. Could one of them players that Manchester United are looking for? We've talked about so many different types of midfielder coming into Manchester United. This morning it was Douglas Luiz, Paulinho. We're looking also at Jazira from Club Brugge, and now we're looking at a different type of player. 19-year-old Warren ZAIRE-EMERY. Now you might not have heard of him if you haven't been watching European football, but this is a 19-year-old kid that's come through PSG's academy that they rate very highly. In fact, if you manage to make 51 appearances for PSG under Enrique in a quadruple winning season with all the stars that they have got, that's not an easy transfer to make. And yes, I like what Rudy Galletti is saying here, that Manchester United are looking at this player. He is an option. He's only an option for Manchester United because he's very young. And of course, this actually fits what Manchester United's model and profile of player we are looking for the future. United would invest big on players like this. Because of his age and because of the future of the player, Manchester United would be all in on this. This is like United going in for an Adam Wharton type player. The French version of it. Holding midfielder, bosses the situation. This guy's competing alongside João Neves, for God's sake. I think this is probably why United are actually looking at this deal as a potential one. And I use the word very, very carefully there, potential. Because as much as I would love a deal like this to happen and this type of player to come in for Manchester United, and by the way, I'm not going to act like I know a lot of him. I know the history of the player. I know where he's come from. I know his appearances. I know everything that he's done this season for PSG. He has featured a lot. And if you watch the Champions League, you would have seen him a lot also. And this is a kid that is, like I said, competing with one of the most awesome midfields in Europe right now. You're looking at Vitinha. You're looking at João Neves. You're looking at everybody else that is in that PSG side. It's ridiculous. Ruiz as well. I mean, seriously, how has this guy even got 51 appearances for PSG? United, well, again, it comes down to how big our balls are. And if we want to actually go and even get in bed with PSG again and try and make a transfer happen. You knew the type of negotiations that, the negotiations and the style that they've got with what we had to deal with Manuel Ugarte last summer. Do United want to go back in for that? Look, this is an ideal transfer for Manchester United in so many ways. Like I said, you've got the potential of a player that could play for years. He fits that profile that Ineos are going to invest a lot of money in. He is better on paper than a lot of our midfielders already. And again, it's the future-proofing of Manchester United that we're looking at here. You're not going to get this kid cheap. He's going to be an absolute fortune. How Manchester United make this happen? They sell Jadon Sancho. They sell Garnacho. They sell Antony. They move players on and get them out of the way. They could sell Casemiro and make this deal happen. It's not out of the realms of Manchester United going for ZAIRE-EMERY at all. You can make this happen. If United sold Casemiro, they could buy ZAIRE-EMERY. If they sold Jadon Sancho, this is how stupid Manchester United's deals are. And when you look at this deal and you go, Adam, not a chance. Not a chance in hell. We can't afford anything right now. We've got to sell players. I get it. I do. And you are right. But this proves how stupid and crap Manchester United was in getting rid of players. I put a tweet out earlier on. Jadon Sancho leaving Manchester United this summer is just as important as other players coming in on better deals. Why? Because Jadon Sancho's deal was that ludicrous and we paid so much money for him. What Manchester United will save with not having to put that payment through for his wages and his transfer instalment this season, if we sell him to Juve, which is very close, that will give United the freedom to go out and buy ZAIRE-EMERY if they wanted to. Adam Wharton even. These are the types of players United can go for if they sold Sancho, Antony, Casemiro, Rashford, Garnacho, all of these players. So if you're moving Casemiro on, what do you want? And this is why it works into it. Now, this may be a story that is just passed off and is just one of them. Not a chance. I get it. But just look at this and use this as an example is what I'm saying. This is where Ineos will go all of the way, I feel, because they're looking at players that are worth that type of money. It's going to be the same sort of value as what you would pay for bleeding Casemiro. 60, 70 million pounds worth here. This is what you're looking at for this kid. And that's the investment you could put in. So maybe you would say, I don't want to spend that much money on this type of player now. But that shows you what you can do if, indeed, you sold these players that United are trying to move out. Sancho opens doors. And on Sancho, Napoli have now... Oh, God, don't know what happened there. Napoli have now dropped out of the equation. They are no longer interested in Jadon Sancho, which tells us the stories this morning that were circulating about a €25 million agreed in terms of transfer with Manchester United and Juventus, and close to a personal terms being agreed with Jadon Sancho also on 5.5 million plus bonuses contracts. That seems very, very low. That's about a 90 grand a week contract, which you would think Jadon's never going to sign. So maybe that deal actually does have some serious bonuses involved in it for Jadon Sancho. And maybe they're sweetening it up by saying you're probably going to meet these bonuses easily. So, yeah, that's where we're at with that. Jadon Sancho is close to agreeing a deal with Juventus. Juventus have already agreed a deal on the price with Manchester United. These are the reports coming out from Italy right now. And again, I stress that the ZAIRE-EMERY transfer isn't one that you should laugh off. Maybe you could laugh off that because of the PSG factor and them not wanting to sell him. But what Sancho does for Manchester United, people need to understand. When we're talking about moving players on and United needing to sign players after we've sold players, the significance of what was done before and the mismanagement of this football club in doing these deals with Sancho, Antony, Casemiro, overspending on Rashford's wages, all of these deals that United have got and what we're forking out millions for every single summer, with them off the books, United can go for players like this. This is how big this could be. And it's a way off. And trust me, I would like a player like this to come in. I really would. I don't think he will. I'm just going to make that clear right now. But what Jadon Sancho's situation brings us is this. It's a potential to buy these players. Will he be on board with United's project? Will he want to come to United knowing that he's already started in about 30 games for PSG last season? He's a big part player there. And United are going for a big name here. This is someone that Enrique thinks a lot of. And this story, again, for United, don't get me wrong, his contract isn't ending soon. He's 19. He's just come through the PSG Academy. If United go and get something like this would be a bigger statement than Man United signing Mbeumo or Matheus Cunha. Not just because of the player, but going in and getting one of the best academy players to come out of PSG and who is used a lot by Enrique this season. That's what this deal is. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to be honest. But what Jadon Sancho, more importantly, is bringing to Manchester United and moving to Juventus, by all accounts and by all of the reports coming from Italy, it gives you the chance to go and deal with transfers like this. And maybe, and it's a big, big maybe. And I just wanted to bring that out just to gauge everyone's thoughts on this. If you then had the option to go out and buy a 60, 70 million pound player in the prime of his career, who would you go out and buy in midfield? That's the question I want to ask the chat anyway. Get your thoughts in the comment section, everybody. Let me know what you think. Sancho out and ZAIRE-EMERY in. Wharton in. Another midfielder in. Get him out. Sancho out makes so much room. Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, the story on him regarding that possible move to Barcelona. Again, it is what it is, but Newcastle are waiting in the wings. That's another story that is bubbling. Newcastle are going to wait it out for Marcus Rashford, is being said as well. Nothing more on that yet, but that's just another little story that's circulating this afternoon that I wanted to bring you up to date on. Just let's watch that one. That could be one to watch. Newcastle definitely keen on Marcus Rashford. Thoughts in the comment section, everybody. Make sure you hit that like button and, of course, hit that subscribe button up on your screen right now. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you all later on.